All right, so for today's workout, we've got Echo Bike, dumbbell bench press, and then we also have a decent amount of bar muscle ups, 9 per round for 5 rounds. So 45 bar muscle ups. I don't know if I'm gonna stay with that rep scheme because it's been kind of a while since I did that many bar muscle ups, and my space is kind of limited, and I have to like kind of alter my kip so that I can do bar muscle ups in the garage. Just the way that the power rack is all set up, but I mean, we'll see. Today, we're going to be taking a look at the Victory Grips Conquer grips. So, grips are a very hot topic, and to be honest with you, just comes down to preference. My preference has been Victory grips for a long time. I've been using them from the very start. They've always been kind of like my go-to grip. Not saying that I don't like any other grips or I won't use any other grips or like any other grips don't have their purpose. I think grips, like shoes, have their purposes. Like some are good without chalk, some are good with chalk, some are more comfortable, some are super duper grippy, like you want to stay up on the bar for a long time. I think everybody wants grip on their grips, but there comes a time and a place where you need like extra grip, and where extra grip can be a little bit much, because some of these newer age grips with some kind of gripping surface like the Conquers, they can be really grippy and they can actually hurt you. So you have to kind of be careful with what you're using. So I think the Conquers are kind of a good middle ground as far as comfort. They've got like a microfiber lining inside of them. Obviously these are a little bit used, so it's quite a bit dirty. And once again, these are a little bit used. I've been using these things for like 4 or 5, maybe even 6 months now. I don't know, maybe even longer than that now that I think about it. When did these come out? I don't know. I got them before they came out, and I still have them, and I still use them, and they're still alive. And another thing with these coated grips nowadays is that they have a lifespan. You can't use these things forever because the grip will eventually wear down, and then the grip will die out. And these ones are not as grippy as day one, but I think for my use, they still work perfectly fine. I might have lost a couple of reps, but I think that's okay. That's not a big deal. I really like them for a few reasons. One being the inner lining I find to be very comfortable. I also like the form factor of Victory's Freedom grips. They're not obnoxiously long, and they're not too short. They give you enough coverage. They don't tear up your hands. I think it's a really comfortable grip. They have this little side piece here so that will protect your palm for doing false grip. And then there's another little microfiber piece here that's just there for protecting your wrists so you don't get too beat up. And on to the next thing that I like about Victory grips is that their wristband is not obnoxiously big or thick. Like, it's not super tall, doesn't take up a whole lot of space. There's not a lot of stuff in there. Like a lot of these padded wristbands, they have like a neoprene padding, and then when you turn them around, the padding gets all spun up and junked up on your wrist. And that's not the case with the Conquer grips and any Victory grips for that matter. I think maybe just the V series, which I don't even like the V series. I just like the normal wristband ones. And then on to the next point. I like that you can just turn these around. That is an easy way and probably the best way to just get them out of the way. Another way that you can do it is you can just fold them down like that and they stay out of the way. That works really well if you're doing double unders and you don't want the grip to get caught in the rope. I don't want to mess with any kind of like rubber bands. I don't want to mess with any kind of like buckles or anything like that. I just want to turn the grip around or just get it out of the way. So in use, like when you're trying to like move throughout a workout and you got to get your grips out of the way, I think Victory grips does it the best. Now, like I said, there are grips that grip more than Victory grips. I am not refuting that at all. But I think that the blend of everything is the reason why I like Victory Grips Conquer the most. So today's workout, like I said, has sets of 9 bar muscle ups. I typically will pick my grip depending on how many muscle ups I think I'm going to be able to do in a row. And if I need to stay up there for, I don't know, maybe 10 muscle ups at a time, then I will pick probably something more grippy than the Conquer grips. Today, I'm not going to stay up there for an unbroken set of 9 every single round. I am thinking that I'll probably go with the like 5-4, and then when 5-4 starts to fail, then I'll just do 3-3-3. If I was going for like a max effort bar muscle up set, this would not be my pick. I would use something grippier. But since I anticipate there to be lots of friction, lots of dropping, lots of resetting, and I'm not targeting 9 reps at a time, I'm only targeting probably max 5. I think these are going to save my hands, and they're going to provide enough grip for me to get through this workout. But anyways, I'm going to get going. I always have a backup pair of grips just in case. So if it comes to the point where these aren't really doing what I need them to do and I need to switch to a backup, I'll probably either use the Raptor Sports grips, or I will use the Sky Hill Inspirations, which both of those have faded a little bit, but I think the grip on those either way is better than the Conquerors, but I just don't like the form factor of those. So anyways, I'm gonna get this thing going before I cool down, and I'll probably add in some commentary as I move throughout this workout.
Special tonight, special tonight. You're the one that I see where you know next to me. Oh, it's this.
I'm gonna take my time on the bike, no rush. This is like a sustained kind of workout. Break up the dumbbell bench press. Don't want to like tire out my shoulders too much. Okay, let's buy. So, I obviously have a powder coated bar. You want to clean it as much as possible, because I do not think that these work well with chalk or a dirty bar. And I can already tell, like when you get a grip that's brand new, the grip will kind of want to stay in place, and then your hands rotate on the grip. Right now, these are so worn down now that the actual grip is rotating with my hand, which is not necessarily a bad thing. Okay, I stopped that rep because the grip got too far up on the bar, and it was a really grippy part, and I felt like my wrist was all kind of jacked up in that position. If that happens, just come off the bar. Yeah, these have definitely lost grip since I got them. But like I said before, they're pretty old now. I mean, I'm surprised they've lasted this long, to be honest with you. Sure, that's gonna take a while. I've slowed down considerably. Probably need to cut the bar muscle ups. I think I'm way over the time cap right now. I'll do 5. My pushers are gone. Shoulders are dead. Alright, we're gonna just at least try to go unbroken on these. You gotta be careful when you come up like that. You might pull your arm out. Okay, finally, last round. Sure. Oh. Hit my head on one of those. Okay, so definitely the grip is not as good as what it used to be. Like I was getting 5s pretty easily. But that 5th, and it could be muscle fatigue too, but the 5th one is where I felt like I didn't want to deal with the grip rotating and then my wrist coming out of place. So I just came off in the early sets. And like this is still gonna get me through a workout, but it's definitely on its way out at this point. But I mean, I'll have to count how many months I've had these for. It's gotta be, man, at max it's gotta be like 8 months. At minimum it's probably gonna be like 6 months, but I've had these a decent amount of time. And I mean, I have grips that have gone out in like a month, maybe 2 months. So I'd say longevity wise, 6 months is still pretty damn good. Sad thing is that grips they're expensive now. They're very expensive. We're looking at right around $60 I think these cost. Maybe even more than that now that I think about it. But that's kind of like where grips are now. I mean, you could buy cheap grips that aren't gonna last for very long, or not gonna be very grippy, for maybe like $30 or so. Or you could buy a really good pair of grips that grip really well, are comfortable. Of course, eventually you're gonna die out, but that's just how it goes. And for me, I still think the Victory Conquerors are my go-to grips. So if you guys have any questions about the Victory Grips Conquerors, feel free to leave them in the comment section. And as always guys, thanks for watching.